Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to Siyasat English News. I am Aman Omar. 14 years after the bombing of the Makkah Masjid, which claimed several lives and sent ripples of fear over the safety and security of public spaces in Hyderabad, the long quest for justice continues. As it turns out, a separate writ petition which was filed in connection with the case was dismissed by the Telangana High Court, as a similar case was being dealt with by Supreme Court. It was in 2018 that a special National Investigation Agency court, which was hearing the case, acquitted all the 5 accused. This included Nabha Kumar Sarkar alias Swami Asimanandan. Police records state that 9 persons were killed in the explosion on 18th of May 2007 and another 58 sustained injuries. 5 others succumbed to bullet injuries after police opened fire on a mob which grew restive after the blast shattered calm. All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin President and Hyderabad Lok Sabha Member of Parliament Asaduddin Owaisi today visited the state-run Osmania General Hospital and demanded the state government to construct a new building. Owaisi even indirectly gunned for the old heritage structure of Osmania General Hospital to be taken down by saying that his party is not concerned if the state government keeps it or demolishes it. He said in a statement that he demands that the Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao announce the construction of a new building. He said that they are telling the Chief Minister that he wants to keep the heritage building, keep it. If you want to demolish it, then demolish it. He said that the party does not have nothing to do with it and only wants a new structure. Even if it costs 1,000 crore rupees, then spend it, Asaduddin Owaisi added. Known as the Oxygen Man of Hyderabad, Mohammad Sujatullah has been waging a war against hunger for more than 4 years. People started calling him Oxygen Man following him providing free oxygen cylinders to more than 1,000 persons suffering from coronavirus. Mohammad Sujatullah has been arranging free breakfast for 1,000 people for the last 4.5 years without missing a single day in 3 government hospitals, in King Koti Maternity Hospital at Sultan Bazar, Nilafar Hospital at Red Hills and NIMS Hospital at Panjagutta. He has also been providing dinner to homeless people on the roadsides for the past year. The National Students' Union of India has expressed concern over the Telangana government's decision to reopen the educational institutions from 1st of July. Addressing the media, the NSUI Telangana President B. Venkat has said that schools and colleges should begin only after all the students are vaccinated. He said the hasty call of the Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao to reopen the educational institutions could result in the rapid spread of COVID-19 and could lead to a possible third wave. Venkat said that the health and medical experts have warned that if a third wave occurs, it could have a serious impact on children. The state government should reconsider its decision in the larger interest of the students and their families, he added. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence on Monday detained a Tanzanian national at Shamshabad International Airport and seized 3 kgs of heroin worth 19.5 crores from his possession. On specific intelligence, officers of DRI intercepted a Tanzanian male passenger who flew to Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad from Johannesburg via Doha in the early hours of 21st of June. Detailed examination of his checked-in baggage resulted in recovery of 3 kgs of cocaine powder, which was concealed beneath the base of his trolley bag. The substance tested positive for cocaine. The drug was seized and the person was arrested under the provisions of NDPS Act 1985. Further investigations is in progress. An informal alliance of political leaders and former members of parliament is set to meet at the Nationalist Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar's official residence in New Delhi at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. The alliance, also known as the National Forum, comprises leaders from more than a dozen opposition parties in addition to prominent artists and economists. The National Forum was established by Trinamool Congress leader Yashwant Sinha and actor-turned-politician Shatrughan Sinha in 2018. Interestingly, it was Sharad Pawar who flagged off Yashwant Sinha's nationwide tour the same year. According to sources, the meeting on Tuesday will be attended by AAP Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh, NCP MP Vandana Chavan, former Jammu and Kashmir Minister Farooq Abdullah, CPI leader T. Raja, Samajwadi Party spokesperson Ghanshyam Tiwari, and others. More than 80 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses were administered across the country in the last 24 hours, the highest single-day coverage till now on day 1 of Centre's new vaccination policy rollout. Data on the government's CoWIN website showed a total of 80 lakh 96,417 vaccine shots were administered today. The center started providing vaccines free of charge to all above 18 years of age from today and took back control of vaccination from states, reversing a policy change that was enforced just about a month ago. The center also started the process of buying 75% of the vaccines produced by companies, including 25% assigned to states. Private hospitals will continue to buy the remaining 25% and inoculate those who are willing to pay for the jabs. The last time India's single-day vaccine coverage was the highest was on 2nd of April when 42,65,157 doses were administered. Iran's president-elect has called himself a defender of human rights after being asked directly about his involvement in the 1988 mass executions of some 5,000 people. Ibrahim Raisi made the comment on Monday in a news conference with journalists, his first since winning Friday's election in a landslide victory. Raisi was part of a so-called death panel that sentenced political prisoners to death at the end of the 1980s Iran-Iraq war. Ahmed Abul-Gheit, Secretary General of the Cairo-based Arab League, held talks with a top European Union official during which they discussed the decades-long Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Abul-Gheit held the talks with EU Special Representative for the Middle East Peace Process, Van Koopman, on Sunday. During the discussion, Abul-Gheit expressed his hope for a more united and consistent European stance regarding the Palestinian rights. He also voiced concerns over the positions of some European states that sided with Israel in its latest strikes on Palestinian territories, including the besieged Gaza Strip, which left nearly 250 Palestinians dead. That's it for today. Thank you, viewers.